So typical arrogant son of a response, right? Like, what? So now Rue is just responding with just emojis, laughing emojis, like, funny face emojis, like, and now he is getting annoyed because he's not getting, I guess, the response that he wanted out of her. And he was like, I was reaching out because I wanted to take you out. I wanted to see you and spend time with you, da 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 da. So Rue just leaves it at that. Carries on. Now she laughing or whatever and joking about it with her friends. Like, da 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 da. Like, the nerve of him. Okay, so everybody knew how Rue felt about this man. But Rue also had a full life. And of course she had standards. So it was like, I guess, you ain't gonna play at my face with but so much. Like, come on. Lay off me. Give me a break. So she just pushed it to the side, whatever. Then months go by. They still barely communicating. He had moved. He wanted her to see his new place. So, she was like, okay, I'll come over. But no funny business. Basically, you ain't gonna be no wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Like, nope. So he like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't want to just see you for that. Come on. He was still, let me take you out. Let me see you and spend time with you. Want to call, talk, da 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 da. She ain't really paying no mind. But Rue is newsy. So she really wanted to see his place. And he was so proud of it. It was like a really big deal for him. He was eager to move into a home. He was excited about it. He was looking forward to it. He was making plans for the future for him and his son. So they ended up seeing each other, hanging out. I think he had came by her house at some point, she mentioned. But okay, fast forward, he moves into the house. She ends up going. She had a soft spot for him. So all of that, like pushing him away and stuff, it was only going to work for so long. She had love for him. So she was going to eventually oblige, whether she liked it or not. And she ended up obliging. So she went over to his house. They were just hanging out, ordered some food. And then she left. Then maybe like a few weeks later, she was kind of still like testing it out a little bit. And because they were on again, off again. And at this point, they were basically on. She was, back to being all in the feels. So she went back over. And although she was not really intending on doing anything, that's not what happened. So that was that. And then she left and went home, and they were still talking, and he was still very caring and friendly at this time. Again, they were on, so he was doing their normal thing, the banter, the talking, the hanging out, the going to get food or bringing her food, or just being nurturing. And Rue had made it up in her mind that although she had feelings for this man, she knew that wasn't someone that she don't think that she could really carry on a healthy, happy relationship with long term. I think Rue just determined and just was honest with herself about the feelings that she had. But that doesn't mean, that that's someone that you should be in a relationship with. And she didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody if it was only going to be temporary, or if it wasn't going to be happy and healthy. Like, you never know how something is going to go. But you know yourself, and Rue knew herself very well. And she knew Jason very well. So she wasn't really like trying to take that route. She just was comfortable and familiar, and it worked, and it was good for what it was good for, and they were back on again. So that's what it was going to be until it wasn't. One day she called Jason and was like, I just got my hair braided. My scalp is tender. Like, can you come rub my scalp? And okay, this is how the conversation went. Back up. She called him. He wasn't answering the phone. Called him again. He not answering the phone. And she calls his other phone. As you do when you looking for your man. Or a man that you know you can get in contact with. Like, why you answering the phone? So he answered the other phone. And she like, why you answering the phone? He like, oh, because I'm riding my bike. My phone is in my bag. Like, this is the phone that's hooked up to the music in my helmet or whatever. I don't know. So she was like, oh, okay. So I got my hair braided. My scalp is hurting. Can you come over and rub my scalp? So he like, yeah, I'm going to separate from my friends and I'm going to come rub your scalp. I'm going to pull up. So she like is so elated that he's going to stop what he's doing and come over, as he should. So she's home. It is summertime. This is probably late July. She hears the motorcycle pull up on the curb. So she's like, oh, that's him. So she goes outside and she is like, he's trying to park the bike or whatever. And she goes outside and she's like, hey, how are you? I missed you. And she's like all over him. And she just like, he taking off his helmet and getting his bag together, whatever. And she like jumps in his arms and he pick her up. And then they come inside, and he's rubbing her scalp, giving her a massage. And that's something that he did to her quite frequently. Massage her scalp. Tender-headed baby, Rue. Okay. So he did that for her. And it was it was a very sweet experience for both of them. And they were talking about it, and she was like, how you get so good at this? And he was like, oh, I used to rub my mom's scalp. I believe he had said that she had alopecia, and he used to rub her scalp to stimulate like hair growth before it was like, before maybe they knew what it was, or like thinking that might help or something like that. I don't know, but he did that, and he was like, yeah, that's my baby, you know, my mom, like, or whatever. And I was like, and she was like, oh, that's so cute, or whatever the case might be. So that happens. They walk back outside. He leaves and he puts his helmet on, and she goes to like, you know, if you touching a man's face or your partner's face, you like this or whatever, but he has his helmet on. So he like, I don't know what you trying to do. I got my helmet on, like, you can't kiss me. So we were like, I know. I don't know. Go ahead, have a good night, be safe, I love you. And he like, I love you too. Bam. Pull off. And then that was the last time she saw Jason.